Do you know that people really don't know you and they know your work?
When we started with our first festival, if you see the logo, it had st.art. So a lot of people were calling us St+art India, right? When we wanted to do the first work, we started going to the police station because one thing for sure is that we want to be 100% legal.
How smart are you?
We started looking for an artist, and then we found a beautiful artist called Hendrik ECB. He's a German artist who's known to paint large portraits. I mean, he's painted in Korea and Busan, I think, about a 200 feet long portrait.
Never felt stupid painting a wall and people being like, "Kya kar rahe
It was
hain
fun
log?"
actually.
Yeah.
It was fun because we were working out there with the communities. It was a new production for us. There was lifts and boom lifts.
It's not the most
so on and so
looked up
forth.
profession as such. It was like, what are these guys doing? Making graffiti is cool in Delhi.
I think art became a part of Swachh Bharat because of all the efforts, and therefore you see now cities are painted left, right, and center. We do try to be sustainable, or most of the sculptures which we make either get donated or go back to the ecosystem. Wherever we have the possibilities of donating it, if they're in a form and they can be done in a nice way.
We're in an AI world, no? So don't you think it will go
No,
wrong?
I think AI will only enable things. We are pretty safe.
Ever walked past a wall that made you stop, smile, and question life? That is the magic of street art. Today we have with us the man who's changed our cities into giant canvases. He is the co-founder of *art India, the movement which made street art more colorful and unforgettable. It is a magic in itself. Let us dive deep into the vision and stories of Arjun Bahl, the co-founder of *art India. Ever walked past a wall that made you stop, smile, and question life? That is the magic of street art. Today we have with us the man who has changed our cities into giant canvases. He is the co-founder of *art India, the movement which made street art more colorful and unforgettable. It is a magic in itself. Let us dive deep into the vision and stories of Arjun Bahl, the co-founder of *art India. Finally, Arjun, finally we got you. It is a real pleasure, and this time I caught you because I've been looking at your art all through Delhi and we didn't know how to catch who's made it. So, what is the reason of this runaway, hidden way of being? Your art is there, but you're never available, never seen.
But to be firstly, what a pleasure meeting you, Anku. I just need to, before we start this podcast, factually corrected that I can't even draw. So while you're saying it's my art, it's actually not my art. It's the artists and their vision and their art.
This is shocking. I will not buy that you're not an artist.
I'm not. I can't even sign my check twice. It bounces. I'm that bad.
I was thinking I'll do some drawing over here, doodling, and we'll just show and be like.
No,
let's
it's a
chill.
different kind of interview today.
Yeah.
It's more from from what we all have built together, and the artists have contributed. It's their work. We can't take that away. Obviously, it's taken for us to come together.
But do you know that people really don't know you and they know your work? Like you've only been known when we talk in Delhi about the graffiti. The first word I spell graffiti, and they're like, yeah, we've seen the Khoskas one. We've seen I think the Lodhi Garden or somewhere else it started with.
The Lodhi Art District.
The Lodhi Art District.
Yeah,
So
that was the
people are
bigger work.
so much familiar with it. So you never felt like I should come out and say it's me, dude.
No, but we've been pretty much out. So it's the organization who's done all of this.
Yeah.
And I'm just one part of the organization of a much
Yeah.
larger
You're the
organization.
Arjun.
I'm the Arjun.
There's a Krishna and a
I
Arjun.
I won't defend that. Yes, I am the Arjun.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a amazing team effort along with my co-founders and the team, which has which has made it so as almost like a movement in India, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere or the other, opened a conversation which was not there. It was there, but very softly, about public spaces and about communities in public spaces, and then having art for all, and that's what we, I think, coined 4 or 5 years ago. In fact, Hanif, who unfortunately is no longer, it was his thought that
he was like a co-founder and founder.
he was a co-founder. We have 5 of us, and in fact, I got drawn into this world because of Hanif. I was from a different world in terms of my profession, and one thing led to another, and then I met another.
Who
2
among
people.
the 5 of you was an artist?
Hanif is an artist.
Yeah.
Akshat is an artist as well.
Yeah.
Akshat works with films, and he's a producer, and himself he works on digital art and so many things. So Hanif and Akshat were truly artists.
And you were also into music, right?
I was into music, yeah. And
that is another art form, but it's part of the creative world.
correct. I was into music, and And that's how I started my life. But before that, Julia herself is a curator and a really top curator. And we met Julia. And then Tanish and me have grown up together. And Tanish was working with me. And then Tanish
this is the
also
first
joined. So
startup I can say. So your name is Start India.
yeah.
तो पहले तो मैं यही सोच रही थी startup है, Start India. It took me long, and then someone said, "अरे word को तोड़ो, street art है." I was like, "What they've named? It's so quirky, no?" If I say someone, I was mentioning it to someone like Startup India, इसलिए Start India रखा. मैंने कहा तब तक तो आया नहीं था. What have they done? So what was the thing about this name first, and also about very few startups have so many co-founders together, surviving, making their team, and bringing it out.
So initially, when we were thinking of a name, I think it was again Hanif who said we should call it Start India. We were all deliberating it. But when we started with our first festival, if you see the logo, it had st.art. So a lot of people were calling us St+art India, right? So we were like, oh, there's something going wrong. And then we put a plus. And then there was another dilemma. So when we were trying to open bank accounts, they wouldn't take a plus in.
So
right?
your bank account has a plus?
Yeah, I think our bank account has a plus in,
my
right?
God.
I have not been dealing with banking for the last 5-6 years.
I'll tell my bank account.
I think it has a plus, and we have a Aadhaar card with a plus and all of that.
Saying?
Yeah. So it was interesting. So it's ST plus ART, Street Art India, right? Or Start India. So Start is, and it also happened during Startup India. A lot of times people call and say, hey, are you from Startup India? I was like, okay, let's start the conversation. At least
I think I'll peg it like that, because I remember Modi shouting out Startup India, chalo, Startup India. This is crazy, but that got a soft branding for you. That was not the same time.
It was not. I think we were a little earlier.
But tell me this, I will come to this 5 co-founder, 5
Absolutely,
heads. Why you guys, ये तो हम 5 वाला scene है थोड़ा सा. But why street? Because canvas नहीं था क्या?
कैनवस था, बट कैनवस छोटा था और कैनवस रिस्ट्रिक्टेड था लोगों
और
के लिए.
इंडिया में कोई रूल्स नहीं है जाके वॉल्स पे पेंट कर
नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं है. So there are rules in everything you do, and if there are no rules, then you also go and question that why are no
and
rules.
you break it.
No, so we never intended to break a rule. We in fact maybe found or formed rules along with the authorities. When we wanted to do the first work, we started going to the police station, because one thing for sure is that we want to be 100% legal.
How smart are you guys?
Why?
You went to the police station
Yeah,
first, because that's
give
the
us
one
permission.
which will object.
Yeah, give us permissions. We want to do this, because by then.
Ajay, permission? I thought you went to paint over there.
No. Well, if you have to really start with that, then. So while we were doing that, there was a lady called Miss Vimla Mehra, who's the DG of the Har jails. And she, because of her son, kind of found out that we were doing this project. And she said, I've got a large wall. And we've written a poem. Would you like to paint that poem?
In Tihar jail.
In Tihar jail. So then Hanif was obviously in the part of this conversation. He was leading it, and Hanif's work was typography, right? So he said, okay, Bimla ji, I've got an idea. Let's take one of the poems from your book, which have been written by female prisoners, and put it outside on the wall, because what does Tihar have? It has long walls, right? It's one of the largest police stations. And it's a pretty sizable wall. I would say it was 8 to 10 feet high, and it was almost a kilometer long, where we kind of put different fonts used by 10 different sign painters. We gave them the fonts. They came up with some fonts, and it would change every 100 meters. Wow. And we had the poem of Char Diwari written about a feeling of a female inmate,
and
or what she feels.
And they had written it.
We had written it beautifully, and that was the project. So, and from there, that conversation was pivoting, and then, suddenly we were told that, we have an opportunity to paint the Delhi Police headquarters. And, so we said, okay, we were for the first time, I'm walking into a police headquarters. I'm really not walked into a police station.
After walking into a Tihar jail. So scary.
Yeah. So, we had Mr. Basi over there, who's the Delhi Police chief at that time. And we had come out with a proposal to, he said, there's a beautiful wall, and why can't we paint something? So we came back with a few proposals, and one of them was a young Gandhi. And he said, this is looking great idea, but I don't think we should put a young Gandhi, because he may not be recognizable. We would like to put the Gandhi which we all know.
Yes.
Because we thought if we put a young Gandhi, he'll bring in no more conversation.
But he wanted the note one.
Yeah, so he wanted it, and rightfully so. And he was very clear that it should look like a Gandhi. And now we had an issue that this is our first street art festival. We've never painted a wall which is 120 feet high by 40 feet high. So how do we get there? So he gave us permissions. We said, so we'll get it done one way or the other. We started looking for an artist, and then we found a beautiful artist called Hendrik ECB. He's a German artist who's known to paint large portraits. I mean, he's painted in Korea and Busan, I think, about a 200 feet long portrait. And he does it really well, right? He has this drip kind of, he does it and the paint drips. So it's a beautiful way of how he does it. And we requested him to do it. And he said, but I don't do known faces. My whole work is about, not doing known faces.
Yeah.
It's about anonymous people. And we told him that, this is an important time in India. We're painting the Delhi police headquarters. You can see how this one act can change a lot of things for street art and public art, etc. So he thought about it and he said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it the first time I'm doing it. I'll do it just for you guys to start something. And that is very important because when we painted that the Delhi police headquarters, and we had a beautiful inauguration with the LG, Mr. Jung at that time, he was on Martyrs Day, I believe. It had a proper ceremony and we had a beautiful inauguration. That itself opened doors in terms of what it can be. So,
it was not as easy as it looks for you to convince the people, get the right artists. So it's a whole process.
It's a long process. We start many times a year in advance, obviously a few times even earlier.
No, but when you started initially, then also, you're going to step into such a big, massive...
We didn't know that. So it just, one thing led to another. Everyone pooled their networks, contacts, whatever money we had. We had Goethe Institute coming and funding us, for the first time. Which
never
was
felt
fun.
Stupid painting a wall and people being like, kya kar
it was
rahe
fun
hain,
actually.
yeah.
It was fun because we were working out there with the communities. It was a new production for us. There was lifts and boom lifts.
It's not the most
so
looked up profession as such. It was like, what are these guys doing? Making graffiti is cool in Delhi.
It wasn't graffiti. Yes, there was the first year had graffiti artists, and there was that, but there was also street art. So street art and graffiti have a little bit of different vibe. But it was also interesting because some of the places I was interacting in, though I'm from Delhi, like Shahpur Jat and the deep of Shahpur Jat, it was a knowledge and learning for me. Even though I live in the city, it was an understanding of finding beauty in the spaces which you never go to, or you don't want to go to, or you think otherwise of it. So it was actually a discovery of my own city through the people, which was amazing because we don't just go and paint there, right? We have to interact with people. There are community leaders. There are people who...
So you understand them?
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens, or the cause is by you. You decide what I want to paint here.
Well,
and then,
the artists, there's an overall curatorial note which Julia puts in. But in general, the artists bring their styles, essentially. So artists are known by their styles. But then artists are also meant to interact with the community, make their narrative, not come with a full narrative to India, but make that narrative by working with the community, spending time. They're always given an assistant to go feel the space.
Arjun, when you started, it is which year?
That was in 2013 we started looking at walls, and 2014 we did the first project, yes.
So that you remember that time?
I do remember it in flashes, bits and pieces.
Like it took 1 year to create your first breakthrough?
No, it didn't take 1 year to create a first thing, but it took some time to understand who the partners could be, how the funding will work.
From the beginning, you had to go through that process.
And that's important, but we were lucky because we were 5 of us extremely motivated. And my other co-founders are extremely brilliant at their work. So everyone had a knowledge of what they were bringing in. And that was the important part because everyone brought in something to the table which was so big that together as 5 we became a strong team, and and that's how it was.
And I've seen that your art has evolved across spaces, so we will get to each one of it, but beginning, like I see you from again the graffiti world to wall art to you guys moving into corporates, so it becomes like the wall in the offices. Then I've seen some of your pieces because I studied from Chennai, so coincidentally the college I studied in Asian College Journalism, there was a metro station right opposite that. I think you guys have taken that also. You've painted it all with some cause driven thing. Then you have taken something like a ISRO illustrations you have created, something around that. Then I've heard about a Maharashtra work that you've done. So it went all over. This whole evolution and this whole spread out. Was it also because you were evolving it, or it was just different verticals that you started opening? How did it spread from graffiti to, Facebook tak chale gaye? And
see, Facebook kind of jobs are for profit in nature. So Start and Facebook pay projects are very different. Start is a non-profit, and it deals with cities and communities and public art and public spaces and the future of our living, right? Essentially from an art and artist perspective. It tries to get art out of the gallery spaces, out of the museum spaces for everyone. So the whole elite concept that only some can go to the gallery, it's what it tries to break away from.
And you don't want it to be a niche area of interest only?
Why should it be? It's for everyone. We're doing it in public spaces. Public spaces are owned by everyone.
Otherwise, art is only selective by niche or rich people. Like they can understand it.
Not really. But galleries, somewhere or the other, have not been in terms of the programming over the years, and in terms of just the way it's seen, have not been the most open, because they are selling over there. So they want the right people to come. Now, who's the right person to decide? In the public space, we're not selling. And for us to do work in Facebook and places like that was also need of the hour to earn some livings.
Yeah.
So, of course, while we're doing this and we're trying to be true and honest towards what we are trying to do, but at the same time, we need to earn. Our artists need to earn. Team needs to be paid. We need to be paid, and so on and so forth.
And I think they were also quite happy with accommodating this kind of thing in their offices.
Absolutely. Today, because of the attrition which happens, people want cool offices. People don't only want to come to.
We have so many co-workings also coming around.
So we've in fact other firms, not Start obviously, just to clarify, has done the first week of WeWork in India. We've done Innovate. We've done a lot of co-working as well. So the massive length and breadth of work we've done.
But Start goes to community building?
Start goes to community building. Start goes to thinking about spaces. Start tries to work on policy-related matters. Start tries to rejuvenate spaces which are totally underused, underutilized, maybe unsafe. It's somewhere or the other. It's somewhere or the other thinking about our cities from our arts, creative, community, cultural perspective is what I would like to say.
What is one thing that you faced as a reaction? You're saying you wanted to make policies, make community changes. Did you see any such moment in this whole making of the art around the city, painting like a canvas? Was there a moment you felt like it has made a mark or something struck like this really impacted? What was that moment or one piece of mural or wall or anything that said that, okay, now this is working in the right direction?
Well, just to begin with, during 2015, 15-16, when we were actually 16-17, let's say 15 or 17, yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, between 15 and 17, let's say more 17, 16, 17, sorry. But during that time, our Prime Minister had taken out a very important policy called Swachh Bharat.
Yeah.
Right. So if you remember that, the government was using art as Swachh Bharat as well, because it was beautifying spaces.
Yes.
So as a result of that, as a result of the work we may have done and may have been noticed, because we were also holding the logo of Swachh Bharat, because somewhere or the other, if people say this is just to clean India, that's totally fine. That's their perspective. If someone wants to go deeper into the art and why we're doing it and what the relevance is, that's also fine. It depends on the way you want to interact with it, and that's what the beautiful part about public art is.
Yes.
You don't need to you can have your own reaction and way you want to think. So I think it impacted that. I think art became a part of Swachh Bharat because of all the efforts, and therefore you see now cities are painted left, right, and center a bit too much sometimes, I would say, under the flyovers. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
What goes through your mind when you decide what is that you want to paint there, or any project you take? It is the cause. It is what is the thought when you?
I think it's a mix of cause. It's a mix of, and that's a more curatorial question, so I'll leave that to my partner Julia at some point. But I think if I have to think from her perspective, I think it's a lot more about the cause for sure. The location, it has to be very location specific per se.
So you look for open spaces. You guys
we love buildings. If you have to talk about muralism right now, what we're known for, we look at walls while driving all the time. Now, unfortunately, phone is taking a lot more time.
How difficult? No, you're all the time glaring at walls.
No, it's so nice. We look at walls and we talk about walls sometimes, right? I know there's a question, which wall would you like to paint? I don't have an answer. But yeah, it's interesting because walls are empty spaces, like almost talking to you to do something. And it's, while it may be just a wall, it could just open up so many more imaginations just by the stroke of paint and brush.
Which city has been your pick? Like, you have been Start India, so startup cities, so India mein, it's all of them. Yeah. Which has clicked with you that this is the city and where Start India really resonates itself?
I think it resonates in all cities.
Delhi?
Of course, Delhi. Delhi, we have the Lodhi Art District. It's got 70 works. Yeah. It totally resonates in Delhi. I actually, living and being from Delhi, I see there's a change myself.
But do you vibe with the city when you bring Start India in any city? Like if you're in Kolkata?
If in Kolkata, we'll be talking Kolkata, right?
What is the vibe you get here?
I mean, I think there's a lot to be done over here, considering you guys are building so much infrastructure as well. Considering also the buildings are not at the most mint condition. Obviously, there are beautiful heritage structures which we won't touch ever, but there could be interventions. There could be, and that's what will happen hopefully.
Did you find walls here?
I think we have found walls, but now we found you who can help us find more walls.
More walls, but you also saw how the thing is over here. It's not so clean and maintained though all the time.
So actually, it's interesting you say that if the place is not clean and maintained, and there are examples and case studies, and especially one of our art districts in the southern part of India. When we started working there, maybe 6-7 years ago, it just, over the years, it got developed so much that even the authorities started taking care of the space. So the drainages which were shut for years were cleaned up suddenly. The people started coming over there and cleaning up the sewage often. So the impact of making a place, let's say, beautiful, on, if a layman wants to say it, or not even a layman, if anyone wants to say, or an artwork or beautiful, is that the space starts looking nice. And therefore what happens is authorities also, half the work is done, just start trying to clean up the civic related issues or start sorting those out.
Which place was easier for you, or was a complete, it just made you feel wow? Was it like any other developed city, south down, or?
I think working in Chennai has been a pleasure.
Why?
I don't know. Southern is nicer probably sometimes.
Yeah.
In fact, if I have to really think about it, it's they've all been equally easy or equally hard. It's how you see it. And also all our friends used to say, how are you doing all this work? How can you do it? I mean, how are you getting these permissions? I'm like, did you guys ever go and ask and go with a plan?
So that works. Now, this is one thing. Do you think what really works in your journey of any startup? Youngsters are always cracking and saying everybody can't do. So you think for you it was just because you were approachable? Or?
Yeah, we are not only because we approached and we requested and we showed a vision. We put in time for making presentations.
Are you ever fearful it'll backfire, rejections?
It's fine. Rejection is fine. It's finally
happened. Any
many
such
times
incident?
we've had
Which
rejections.
Was the
we've
most
had
terrible one.
We've had to leave cities after working in it for 2-3 months. We've left a few cities like that.
Why
because
so? They objected.
The people didn't like it.
Huh?
Yeah.
So they reacted.
The internet reacted more than the people.
And that scared you?
It didn't scare us. It said that why are we going into a space like that then, right?
Why do you think people would have reacted?
I think it can become a controversial matter, and I may not want to say it right now, but I think people somewhere feel the sense of some sort of ownership, and they don't want external organizations to come, while we try to curate and make our teams, our artists, pretty hyper local, because we also understand that. But I think in this particular case, which we'll speak off the thing, was a little different.
But is India ready? India ready hai art ke liye?
100%.
It's more like a Western thing. If you had done it out there abroad, would have been more easier than doing it in India.
That's not true, because the thing is, if you go to these villages where they do Gond, they do Madhubani, they decorate their houses with art outside. The whole village is doing it.
But shehron mein, is it easy?
Shehron mein, we made them concrete shares. Now we need to bring them softness. I mean, we have to bring them softness. Otherwise, if you imagine all the buildings looking the same.
It is so.
Everything looking the same architect, same stuff.
Even corporate building, they all look like glass buildings.
How boring is it?
Yeah.
Don't you want to see something from the building? I mean, I want to see it. It's real estate for me. If you're putting it in a space which I'm going to go through every day, I rather see something and make me smile.
It's more cultural connect.
I don't have to see my phone otherwise. Imagine my cities are so beautiful. I just keep on looking around. And
you went to Jaipur?
I went to Jaipur.
How would you see that? It's already a pink city.
It's beautiful, right?
So, did you want to?
But then over there, I mean, Jaipur is interesting, and we've done a beautiful project. We did a project with a school which hosts and has a hostel facility as well for partially and fully impaired kids. And it was an interesting project. Because obviously kids can't go to museums and can't feel the art. I mean, they can feel the caption.
Have their own,
So, but what we did was we created a private museum for them with tactile work.
Wow.
So they could see the art.
It's in their language,
It's in the whole art is there, and the explanation is in Braille. It's beautiful. And the idea is that, that's an inclusive idea. Why shouldn't we do that? Every city should have one. And that's come out really well. I mean, kids have enjoyed it.
I've seen your one piece in Kolkata metro station also.
Yeah, the Kumartulli one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, the metro station, there was
in Chennai?
No, the Kolkata one, the Goenka project was there. It was some big famous literature guy or someone.
We did Satyajit Ray, right?
Yeah, maybe the same.
Yeah. That
was long back.
That was with Asian Paints.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
so that also was a way, because for Calcutta, that's a real big thing.
Absolutely.
And for metro stations to have it, we felt like finally we're done with those boring tiles and how shabby it looks.
Yeah. I think it'll change. I think it's coming, and there's so many more organizations doing amazing work.
I think now the new buildings and complexes should have art. Keep channel.
The problem is now the new buildings have more glass now. That's another issue.
Is that a challenge for your work? No?
Well, there are mediums can be changed. There's never a challenge. There's always a way around.
You would look at exploring.
Yeah, mediums can be changed. We can work with film. We can work with installation. We can work with lights. It's not only paint. We are known for paint, but we would now seeking opportunities to do other things, interesting things. Why can't we interact with a building which is made in glass? Interestingly.
What about the artist collaborations? Are you always looking out for artists from outside or India? How do you
artists are a
bring that?
bloodline. It's our DNA. It's if you're looking for artists from India, outside India. Initially, we wanted to have a 50-50 mix because street art as a medium was not developed in terms of making it in this scale was not developed. So we wanted the international artists to come to India and also give their knowledge, work with the Indian artists, explain, inspire. And that's what the idea was. But today, I think after 11 years of at least me being actively doing this, I see a lot more Indian artists doing amazing work.
Are they able to understand the
100%. They're at
street
par.
art? Yeah.
They're at par. They're growing their practices, and there's a lot to learn anyway. And when it comes to art, it has to be interdisciplinary. It has to be intercity, different countries
How do you
working together.
choose your artist? Is it you go through their profile? You're not an artist, so
Yeah.
I don't know how do you. You have your
That's a
curating
Julia
team.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I just wonder. You're the one who's finally deciding on things.
No, I'm not. We're all deciding.
You all decide.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but
Julia decides on.
How did you find this thing? Because
I mean, for us is obviously
you're a music guy, right? So what your intuition tells you, this one.
I was a music guy. I'm still a music guy. But in terms of, I think, finding artists is that we've been doing this now so long. We all have our personal favorites, which we want to also get.
What is yours? Who is yours?
There are so many. There are internationally. There's an artist called Panton who I really enjoy. There's so many. There's obviously Hanif.
We only know MF Hussain and all these names.
Yeah.
You can't go beyond. At least I can't.
There's so much more.
There's so much more. I know.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of
See,
artists.
now you have a way to identify your artist. What is your parameter?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the project, where they're coming from and what is the kind of work they do, what is the kind of project we want to build. Is it going to be a painted work? Is it going to be installation? Is it going to be with light spaced? So there are different genres of work or mediums.
I didn't even know so many.
There are many
genres exist.
So there is.
Great.
There's some. So there's a lot, right? So I mean, it totally depends, and we try to bring in a different mix of artists. We also work with various institutes of cultures. So wherever there's funding available, so sometimes the embassies want to bring their artists, and then we collaboration. Embassies.
That is a great way to incorporate the foreign.
Because then we make
engagement.
a lot of the times we make the international artists work with the Indian artists and do a collab.
Wow.
So that's interesting.
So you're also doing intercultural mixing.
100%. We just did a beautiful project with two really interesting artists. One artist, an indigenous artist from Madhya Pradesh, and Gangubai, and she works in Bhil.
The name is Gangubai.
Okay. And the other artist's name is Miriam Bajo, who comes from the deserts of Australia. Both probably over there in their 60s, never met each other, can hardly understand each other. And this collaboration started about 6-8 months ago online. And essentially, the idea was to how we bring these two indigenous women coming from really far part of their corners and very like villages, like really not really now connected to the world, but at some point the past was not connected to the mainstream living per se, because and got them online and started talking to them. And the only thing which brought them together was the technique. So the Bhil also has dots, and Miriam Baju from Australia also worked with this dot technique and got them together online. We changed 3 translators because there are 3 people who are volunteering to translate, and they were also giving up slowly. And then they both came to India. And what an amazing feeling of working for some artists from Madhya Pradesh.
So you're bringing the
two people together and to do a large wall at Sasandok.
What has been the most challenging part in all this? One is the time-taking process. Is this all?
Time, communication, how will they work, their age, can they go on the lift to work?
But this whole process of art is time-consuming if anyone works
If you want to do it well, then it's time-consuming, and we want to do it well.
What is the minimum time or the maximum?
I can't say what is the minimum time, but each project takes about at least 1 or 2 months of planning in terms of curation, and then we do multiple projects. So when we're doing festivals, it does take 2, 3, 4 months.
Your festival is a unique thing. I think I was known about the dock thing.
The Sasandok.
What was the idea? What are you trying to build a community? Because we only know one cultural art space, that's Nita Ambani space, which we got like really highlighted up in the country. What are you trying to?
I mean, the idea for us to be at Sasandok was
How was it? Was it a hit?
We loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope people loved it. We loved it as organizers. Could we have done better? Of course, we can do things better. Did we try to give 100%? I think we gave 150%.
Wow.
So that's important. I think that's what we did, and that's important, right? Running this organization, not having any ticketing, trying to raise monies from partners, keeping partners happy, having stakeholders and make sure other stakeholders are happy. People
And
coming
adding
there
value to the
and adding
world,
value, and
right?
people coming and enjoying themselves is a pretty big win.
Empowering the artists. I think you're doing everything
Exactly. So
together.
it's according to me, it's a big win.
You should
Even
be
if it
hired
fails,
by our Prime Minister
even
office.
if it doesn't happen, even if not too many people come, I think it's
Yeah.
still a win, because it's very difficult. It may seem easy. It's a lot of time which you need to put into
But what
projects.
was the impact of that festival, and why are you getting in that space now?
I mean, we've been doing festivals now for a while. We started off somewhere or the other. We love working with transportation of sorts. So we worked with the Ministry of Railways and then Ministry of Shipping. So railways, we started off at ICD, Inland Container Depot.
Okay.
If I have to say, our first pretty large
So you convert
exhibition.
the entire depot into a cultural world?
Not an entire, it's pretty big. I
Big,
wish we
yeah.
could. But we only took about 120 containers, and we created a space which was about 40,000 square feet
In the containers?
in the container depot. And in the parking area
Those
of the container.
cargo container are you talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we
beautifully
see,
architecturally we stacked them, because we were called in by Mr. Bajpai, who was heading the container depot at that time, and he said, we got called in. He's like, I have some walls, can you paint? And we went there looking at the walls, but then we're looking at the containers. We're like, so actually walls is not a problem. Give us the containers and we'll do something amazing.
That is the first time you thought of it.
That is the first time we thought of it. As soon as we saw the containers, we were like, give us the containers. We'll take care of everything. Just let our people enter and give us the containers for a month. Help us with the stacking of it. Help us with a little bit this thing. So finally, they had an unused car park, which they gave us. And they gave us 120 containers. And they obviously gave us the technical know-how of how to stack containers, because they were stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, some were up to 4. Pretty big. And each container is huge. So safety is always a concern. But once we got those containers, and once this project really started happening, you're like, wow, we are now at Inland Container Depot in Tughlakabad, back or beyond, right? And we are right behind one of the largest dumpsters, largest landfills of Delhi. Tughlakabad ko jo, it's always in news, unfortunately. And there are people coming here. Suddenly there were people coming from all over just to see the show. And it was so interesting. We had
what
70,000.
were you guys doing there? It was demonstrating your art and
The containers were painted. They were all painted in different ways. Inside the containers, there were small showings. Outside on weekends, there were picnics, music, conversations,
it's a whole
workshops.
culture.
We created a space, out of containers, enclosed with containers.
So it is a place where people really enjoy and engage with art, and also it's a new way of celebrating yourself.
Absolutely. And seeing the containers, the way, containers have always been, for me at least, have always been very interesting.
For
right?
me, I used to
Right?
see it more in movies, and also people making offices inside.
Exactly,
So I've
right?
seen those
So how beautiful in
contractors.
terms of architecture it can become. And we had we had 2 people working on it. We had Pierre working on the architecture, and we had Studio Lotus, top firm from Delhi, Amrish Arora and team working on the architecture part. And we managed to create such beautiful
How
formations.
was the reaction of the ministry? What did they feel?
They loved it. I think they loved it. We were dealing with Mr. Bajpai. He loved it. I think his senior, who was a IRS, he was an officer. He loved it. I think people loved it. In general, people came from all over. But it was done in a very nice, sweet way, right? We didn't have entries. So whoever entered were given this, construction jackets.
Yeah. So what the feel and experience of
So
it?
also, when you gave those jackets, it doesn't, you're giving a uniform, right? So everyone is the same. It doesn't matter who you are, what your social, economic
No
status
identity
is.
holding.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
you could be the
all-
biggest industrialist, but there could be a truck driver feeling the art with his family together. And that's the idea of the inclusive nature, right? So people from the trucking business, the helpers, the drivers, the conductor, whatever it may be, everyone came with their families, and they were seeing art at the same time where the biggest industry was seeing it. And that's the idea of it's for all, right?
What do you think it can take forward to? Are you guys looking at doing more
I think
of these
we want
cultural
to. I
space?
think it's very important. Our country is growing, and culture is, how we call it. It's a part of soft diplomacy. 2 times we've had heads of states at the Lodhi Art District. We had
We
Mrs.
had
Macron.
the G20 also. We had so many big events.
Yeah, but we had Mrs. Macron coming to the Lodhi Art
Yeah.
District, spending about 1 or 2 hours. We had the Canadian First Family. We had Tim Cook right now. So it's a
Yeah.
part of our soft diplomacy, right?
Wow.
And these spaces show a different side of the city, right?
This actually is a nice way to depict the culture in a very brief and a very.
I mean, it could be also it's also like culturally
Like you can't
rooted.
take them around the country in a good 1 week travel that they make. to
Yeah, but
India.
it's
This is a
also
way-
showing a side of India which is young, which is edgy, which is independent, innovative. and it's doing really nice stuff for the community. It's also showing a softness to the city.
What is your fixation with ports? I kind of know that you have this whole making this cultural space around the port space. Is there something about the sea?
I think ports are the most interesting spaces,
Yeah.
right? Essentially, even globally, when you see all the ports. I mean, especially in our country, we have such an amazing opportunity with Bombay and Mumbai, sorry.
Yes.
We've already done twice works over there, and it's pretty romantic to work over there.
Which one were
In
you?
Sasson Dock, we've done twice.
You don't
It's romantic, even though it comes with a little bit of smell and all of that. But once you get into it,
Yeah.
once you start working with people, once you start seeing people coming in, once you start transforming spaces, once people give reactions, and once people enjoy themselves, and all people are coming, so from the young, like literally toddlers, or who are still in prams, to 60, 70, 80-year-old people.
I didn't know people really appreciate art so much in India. I thought that it is like, it might be a little boring for someone, but this is my first time experience.
No, we had 3.5 lakh, 3 lakh with people in the first time.
3 lakh people?
3 lakh people, 300,000 people. That's a lot of people. So we
and
were.
how much advertising you might have
Nothing.
done?
Not much. I mean, obviously our partners were doing a little bit of theirs. It was mostly word of mouth. And social
I
media.
wish you can change our city in Durga Puja. We only have this pandal hopping, which is beautiful.
I don't think we'll ever want to change it. I think
Don't
I'm
change,
coming.
but I
I'm
think
coming
if you
for
can
pandal hopping. I
create
want to
something
learn
more,
from it,
yeah.
and I want to see how we can bring some of the pandals to our side of the world, or our side of the cities from Kolkata. Because when I came here, and because I do entertainment, and my other work is entertainment. When I came here for the first time, seeing the pandals, which was 2 years ago, I was blown away. I was like, wow, why haven't
For us, it is a regular thing now. So we don't know how it feels from people who come.
I'm coming again on the 18th.
Yeah.
I'm coming again. But it was an opener of the sheer dedication of people, of trying to make this pandal. Literally, they work 8-9 months, some of them. And the stories and the finishing and the ideation and the simplicity of the finishing, right? Some of them are doing kinetic works, but they don't have the most advanced machines to do it. They're doing it in their own.
Do you believe that art still has that traditional ways can also work in this
100%.
field, or it only has to be technology?
But they're doing technology in their own way. You call it jugaad or you call it professionalism. They're doing it and it's working. And there are so many people going. It's probably the largest art festival in the world. 100% it is. I think it's also UNESCO intangible heritage recognized. But it really shows a lot about the city. It shows the devotion and the power of what it can do. Everyone does it. It doesn't matter. And everyone is going. And it's, I was blown away. And what I learned was that everything is reused the next year.
Yeah.
It's not
So
wasted.
will
It's pretty circular.
sustainability also be part of your cultural festivals or the art festivals?
We do try to be sustainable,
Yeah.
or most of the sculptures which we make either get donated or go back to the ecosystem. Wherever we have the possibilities of donating it, if they're in a form and they can be done in a nice way. But yeah, be mindful of that. We don't want to add extra to all the issues already which are happening. We're very mindful.
Coming to one thing about your team is you have this 30-member team now, or is it
we
more?
are a team of maybe 30-35 people.
Yeah, and I'm not counting the artists. If I count the artists, how huge is the family?
We've probably worked with about 600-700 artists. Probably
600-700.
Probably we've done about 600
Yeah,
programs
in the past, just a decade or so.
And I've personally done another 300-400 music artists, so about 1,000 artists we've probably worked with from visual and music.
How does Start India work, like, for that matter, in terms of your working space? What is the culture in your own Start India? Like, it's all, you are curating artists. You guys are into the artistic world. You're thinking creativity. You're scanning walls in India. So how does it work?
It's pretty open. Yeah? I think for me...
I don't see you guys static in one office. I think you all are wandering around.
We are wandering around Banjara a little bit, but it's also open for people, and we want to keep it as much as possible. And we want the teams to also explore their artistic practice, because finally everyone is an artist one way or the other.
You have to start.
Yeah. No, but I'm happy doing this. Why get into that and then have pressure of making work? And I already have a lot of other things. I enjoy the process. I enjoy my always, if I have to look back into what I've been doing over the last 2 decades or so, I've always enjoyed people having fun.
Yeah.
Literally from 2001 since I started working, I enjoy if it's the dance floor. I enjoy it if someone's enjoying the music. You've put it together. I enjoy it. So that's my gig probably. I enjoy.
Which has been the most startling comment you got in this whole journey of Start India? Like, even to your work or something like that, like, took you off your ground, good and bad?
I don't know. I don't know. There are a lot of times good, bad. I don't.
You don't remember?
Bad people may not say it if they want to.
Have you not seen any reaction? Be like, okay, this can also come.
No.
Anyway.
I'm doing what I have to do. I'm not bothered.
You
I
don't
think
focus on that.
we
But
don't
what
need to.
is that might have moved you in terms of any collaboration with any artist that moved you, that moved your
I mean, there's
perspective?
so many like that, right? I mean,
But
perspective
something
wise,
which you say, ki, this has changed me.
it's not, I don't know, change is probably a large word, but once in the first festival, mm, there's an artist who was working in Sharper's Art, and he would see this boy every day, and this boy would be playing with his dog or whatever. And then one day he found this boy crying. Yeah, the artist asked him, he's a foreign artist, he was from Germany, and he asked him, "Why are you crying?" He said, "I lost my dog." So the artist felt bad because he was somewhere interacting with the kid and the family. You know, when you painting, people come for tea, chai le lo bhaiya, ye kar lo. You know, so the artists become friends with communities. Finally, they're eating. They know the community better than I do, obviously, because they're there working morning to evening, maybe for a week or 10 days or maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And when that actually happened, the artist felt bad. But I think after a day or two, the artist called the boy and he's like, "Look at that." He made a stencil of the dog for him, you know. So that was interesting. That was beautiful. And that was important. So that those kind of moments happen a lot, you know, the sharing and caring moment, communities embracing third parties, us artists together, we understanding better.
You have to keep the artist motivated here because it might not be so encouraging in terms of because it's a very different space for artists to come and
No, artists like this
they
space.
like it.
Yeah, I think artists like to work with people. They like to share. They like to
Which
see
has
if they
been
can.
more challenging, convincing the client or the government or the people or community or artists, which has been the most difficult plug-in for you in this whole process of Start India? Be honest, nothing? Come on, Arjun.
Nothing. It's not.
Something must have been more tiring or everything is Julia's headache.
It's not. It's the team's headache. But if you see it as tiring, then it's tiring. You should not see it as tiring.
Tell me what is the grievances of your team members. I think that will help
Grievances
me.
of the team members. I don't know if I start saying it, then I think I think we do get overworked. I'll be honest, because passionately we want to deliver the best. I think people, you know, if you have more time in artistic way to think, it'll be better. But you know, we also trying to, you know,
Make it monetize it for the nobody faces a loss and can go ahead. Is
yeah,
that
I think we want to up the game. We want to make sure.
where is the loophole? Do you think it's still struggling somewhere despite you reaching out to the biggest of the names? You've made enough decent stand up to the whole startup, you can say, or Start India.
I think
What is that?
Anku, the idea is of getting the right funding.
Why are we struggling in that space when you're changing lives and changing community?
Because
Why?
the funding comes with a lot of strings attached.
Other industry we see it come like today is the world of startup, right?
Yeah, but I
you
think
see
this is not a
the
startup.
kind
This
of
is
angel feeding and
but this
venture
is a public space.
capitalists.
There's no
Yeah.
monetization per se with Start.
Is
right?
it not selling it right? Are the people not trusting art as the way to as the right startup company? Is that like
It's
we're
not.
still struggling?
It's
in
not.
convincing?
It's a non-profit, so it won't be seen as a startup, right? Firstly, so if we have to first remove Start from what the commercial businesses are, that's very important to do. As soon as we try to monetize Start, it becomes another advertisement. Then would you like it?
No, not really. But
Then
there must be a way because we have pujas happening in Calcutta.
Yeah.
It is a very monetized.
Where you see the
space.
amount of advertisement there is in Calcutta. I've come.
Yeah, it
There's
looks
so
very
much
bad.
flex.
It looks so bad.
People's houses get covered. They can't see the sunlight
So you don't
because
want
it's flex
that kind
everywhere.
of. But you still feel people are not very open to this now to promote
think
art as a part of culture changing, community
I think
changing.
people are open to it. I think what will happen if sooner or later, and what is already happening, is the private sector will take more role and has been taking more role with us. Government is obviously there to enable and support.
I have met corporate heads and leaders who really like Sanjeev Goenka in Kolkata. He loves to have beautiful office space. He cares less.
Yeah.
And he's just about the artist more.
Correct.
Harsh Niotia, he's a storyteller himself. There's so many, few of them though. So you think this kind of, and even government of India, I think they believe in changing the country's look and feel, at least in Delhi.
I mean, in Calcutta, you have other patrons like Priya Paul, Karan Paul, you have Varun Thapar, Nitasha Thapar. They're all doing good work. They have Try. So many people. You have Richa Agarwal, Imami. So there are so many people out there. But what I'm trying to say is that people also have their own ways of funding certain projects, what they like, right? Now, if I have to talk about our own perspective, I think what will happen in the future and what should happen in the future, I think the idea of cultural districts will start coming up. You know, the government is already talking about it, you know, having arts districts, having gallery districts. I think consolidation of spaces where we can have a few or more organizations or works around there could potentially be notified as a district. Like you see what's happening in Karagoda, right? Now Kalakhada is going to be only pedestrian friendly. It's no cars, no vehicular traffic. That's important. Now, if that happens, imagine the impact of you suddenly start walking in your cities. When you're walking in the cities, then you can have sculptures, you can have more works. People will start investing in the city. So I think these public spaces is where we need to have
It
some
also
sort of
reflects
attention.
India growing then.
Absolutely.
Because I see
Absolutely.
Park Street over here. Because they have made it a pedestrian space, it's more like we have a London feel.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying, that somewhere the whole city and the country will find upliftment, which
Absolutely, and the private sector will do it. Obviously, government sector needs to enable the policies, but the private sector is ready to take that up. Provided these policies are put there, and as well as
Is there any project that made you feel like this has really helped the society build up? Any such, like what you're saying about the
I think
district?
Chennai has been there. I think Lodhi Art District has been a great example. I think what we've done at Sassoon is a great example. I think what we have done when we started off at in Hoska's village and Shapur Jat was a great example because we were all on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? We
You
were
were
all on the
there.
ground. We were talking to
With
people. People. Hanif and Tanish were knocking on people's doors to take permission.
each one, like you get to collect vote. You went like that.
Yeah, just knocking on people and permission doge, hum ye karenge, aap ye kar rahe hain, wo kar rahe hain. Then, because we have it in documentary also. Now you remember these things in documentary, and one guy saying no, one guy saying yes, one guy said, aap ye milne karo, fir main dunga. So there's always a negotiation. It'll happen.
What is that moment when you come back from all this hard work that you guys have done for so long, and you lost one of the most important member of your team? What is that you sit with and think, where have you guys come till now, and kitna aur jana hai? Are we in the midway ki hum abhi tak?
No, I think we are. I think we are. Let's say we are just about starting. We are 10 years down.
This you will stick to because of your start name.
No, no, because we're starting because of the fact that we've only sowed the seeds about 8-10 years ago. Seeds will they start growing, saplings.
You're patient enough to say that.
But there is the other team. There is all the other younger team than us who will take over and needs to take over and do this thing.
So you leave a legacy with them.
I'm not, it's not. It's a legacy for the city. It's not our legacy. It starts legacy, and the people who's built start. It's not a personal legacy. It's not. It may be a personal achievement, but that's how we see it. I would love for it to run independently without us. Maybe just if we have to intervene somewhere, we can. But I would love for it. That means we've built a successful organization. That means if it does more than what we're doing, even goes to now, we are usually an urban art outfit. We do go to urban spaces, but why not rural? We do some projects in rural, but we are known for urban works, right? But why not there? There's so much. We only at the tip of the iceberg.
Was there a reason to not go rural?
No, because the urban spaces are where it's urban
the
art.
Canvas is too much here.
Yeah, and this is where the real issue is also happening, right? Rural, okay, there are many other issues, but here there's a big issue of public spaces, community displacement, so much. So I think that for us, that's the vision. Someone else taking over, the team which are working with us right now, they should take over at some point.
What is the regret? Any regrets?
No regrets.
Come on.
No regrets.
Something you felt like we could have done this differently. Maybe today you've accepted it, but...
I don't think there are any regrets. I think we've done it as much as, like I say, because I know how hard we work. I know many times we are disappointed. I know many times in our meetings.
Like when there's a rejection or you've done so hard and नहीं हो रहा है.
But कोई बात नहीं.
या convince ही नहीं कर पाए.
जो एक बारी नहीं हुआ तो 10 बारी हुआ ना. So that clash.
You look at it like that.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing is that if just sitting back, if you start regretting, there's so many things.
There's no time to regret for you.
Also, the thing is that, many times when we are on calls, sometimes I have to tell our teams, why are we always criticizing ourselves? Sometimes we do that.
Yeah.
Why can't we see the good, right? Because it's easy. Because there's so much pressure. There's a lot of work. There's so much to be done. We need to meet many things. We need to meet what we want to do personally. We want to meet the financial situations of the organization. We want to make sure the people have fun. We need to see sensitivities.
So you cracked the secret of running a company?
Not really. No.
You're
Multitasking, managing.
What are your hacks you should tell us?
Managing, that's it.
Managing? All of you manage, or only one person has to be a manager?
No, we all manage. We all have.
How do you guys maintain your relations? You don't clash into each
100%. Without clashes, there's no fire. There's no fun.
You're the one who pacify the most.
Everyone has their own traits, but we manage. It's there. It's like a boy band, right? Boy bands can easily fall apart. One of our friends, Akshat, left about 2 years ago. Now he's on independently, and 2-3 years now. Hanif, unfortunately, is no more. He had there's a very, very sad thing for us, and now we are there, and with the most amazing team, we are trying to do projects and trying.
What made you a visionary? Now coming to a little bit of you very quickly. How do we know Arjun? Like what is your story? Just a Delhi ka Punjabi ladka, flamboyant and backed with I don't know Punjabi also. We only speak. You've got that whole Delhi Punjabi wala.
It's the kada, na? That's my kada.
Kada
My wife gave
also,
me, so it's
yeah.
not during marriage. So
And also that whole tone. So can you speak something? I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't. It's been time. Punjab, have you entered Punjab space?
We have
Must
done a few
be.
projects in Chandigarh. One public art project in Chandigarh. A lot of commercial work, but not too much in Punjab.
Amritsar?
Amritsar, we've done a project too as well.
Yeah.
Outside the Golden Temple, we've done a typography
Outside
project.
Golden. I was there. I didn't see.
So
Remember seeing.
there's a beautiful project with Gurmeet Rai ji, it was under the Hriday scheme.
There's a Jallianwala Bagh also. You should get
Yeah, but we've done a beautiful project over there. We've done changed 150 signboards because there was a lot of chaos happening there. So we cleaned up all the signboards. Gurmeet ji cleaned it up, and we painted the signboards in two languages, in Gurmukhi and in Hindi, and gave everyone an individual signboard, hand painted signboard according to their shop.
Which corner of India is left? कुछ छूटा है कि यहाँ गए नहीं है?
अभी काफी जगह रह गई हैं.
Oh God, रह गई है. I was scared. I was like, but there are places. Mostly you've touched most of the areas.
No, I think we have a lot. I think we are.
Kashmir.
Kashmir is a dream project.
Yeah.
But yeah, as in when it
So
happens.
how does your family look at you now?
As in?
Like क्या बोलते हैं? What does our
They don't know what I do.
Yeah. क्या बोलेंगे क्या? What? He's not a painter. He's not an artist.
Yeah.
So what he does? He brings artists together and do what? What do you tell them? How do they define you in public? हमारा बेटा क्या करता है? Or how does your wife call you out?
No, I think I work in the art and culture is what she says, I suppose.
She manages somehow.
Yeah,
He's a curator. He's a
not even a curator. I if I have to point blank in a harsh way say what I am, I'm a
Is she impressed by you?
not really. No, she is. I think she appreciates what I do, but I think she now if she has to say that she may not want this profession, but now if I'm in it for many years.
She's an artist?
She works in wellness.
Not related at all.
Not at all related, yeah.
Yeah, I think
She's a wellness professional.
Oh
yeah.
my God. And about your whole journey, how you've shifted, you were always into this? Being an entrepreneur was your thing, or?
I started off promoting music events when I was very young. I have a friends called Medieval Pandits. They're pretty interesting and pretty cool, pretty out there music producers. And I used to collect. At that time, if I had to go to a party, I had to go for a work. But I said, okay, I'll come and collect data for you outside. So we used to do the cyber mehfils. At that time, this Asian underground was coming in. So at that time, you have to take email IDs and numbers so you can send them a message. So I used to do that. But after a while, people stopped coming.
But
right?
your friends must be thinking you're partying all night.
No, I used to go inside of course, I'm not there to take the numbers and all. I took the numbers, did my work, but I used to sneak into the party.
Yeah.
That's how I really started it. And that's how I really wanted to do it. And then we built a nightclub, and then we did a lot of programming. And then I studied events and tourism management. I studied music business. And that's what my journey has been. So I
but
started.
Then
with
you
music.
suddenly flipped into this, like
Not suddenly. After I have a company still called Crayon, which does music curation, which does visuals a little bit. It does, let's say, special technical stuff as well as artistic performance, music kind of stuff. It used to do production, and I started that in 2006 or something. So that I continued that company, and then I also built a company called Most Technical India with a partner called Dave Perry, who built Fabric in London, Ministry of Sound, big nightclubs. We called him to India to build a nightclub for us in 2014, and then we started doing a lot of nightclubs. So we've done. So I used to design the sound light video systems.
Do you also get artwork done in nightclubs?
No, that was sound light video systems for the nightclubs at that time. So that's where my journey started. In 2013, it changed a bit, but now I'm trying.
You've become a tycoon. So many businesses, entrepreneurs.
It's not a tycoon. I wish I was.
Yeah, because you have 2-3 businesses now. The only role left is investing in other businesses.
No.
You're gonna identify. But this project which you're doing in Kolkata, I think that's also very interesting. We have this old taxi thing.
Yeah.
Which is so pretty.
Yeah.
You want to change that? What are you doing?
No,
what are you guys
essentially
here for?
It's a different project. It's
I'm sure they would be happy because after Ola and Uber, no, they're really sad. Nobody sits in them. Like, can you do something for us?
So we're working on with Asian Paints on Sharat Samman. Sharat Samman, as you know, has been running for 40 years.
Very prestige award.
Very prestige award and a recognition platform for the Pujo pandals. And this is 40 years, so we're taking 40 taxis. and we're doing some of them from the interior as well. So it's interesting.
Just revamping or
Revamping
recreating
them.
that.
Yeah. So it's that, and then next month onwards, we have a pretty interesting project coming up.
What
We're
is that?
focusing on. It's a mix of few things which are coming up. One is a really cool immersive exhibition at Try Arts in Bollyganj.
Yeah.
And then followed by a pretty interesting public art project working across some urban tactical work, some trying to make a playscape, trying to do a pretty interesting corridor in Bollyganj as well with art, and seeing how cities interacting. Think about carom, think about chess. What can we do? So interesting project. We're still in the process of
I wish I can
fine-tuning
paint
it.
our trams also.
Sorry?
The trams, have you seen them?
Yes.
They run on road with the cars.
Yeah.
So if you really
We did a project 2 years ago with
Yeah,
tram.
you did?
Yeah, it was very interesting.
It was fun. Did you get into it?
I loved it.
You can walk and sit together. So when you're sitting in a tram, you take a break to walk and then you sit. It's in the same speed.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
But I'm so happy to have you here because
Thank
when
you.
I go to Delhi, I feel like I've got my wheels on.
Yeah, come on
But
then.
when
I'll
I
take you
come
to
here-
the Lodhi Art District. Have you
No,
been?
I want to learn painting. I thought the artist is coming. He's gonna talk only art. What will I talk? But I think I really, God was kind to me.
Yeah.
It was nothing was like what
And
I
God was
thought.
kind to me that I didn't have to teach you how to paint. That would have been quite an experiment.
But what is that one thing where you've spoken where art can go, where it started? Everything, but a message for the art world, how to look at it, because now art is improvised in every manner. Even in interiors, we see their wallpapers, the illustrations, everything is taking on technology, is blending in. So, do you see art is safe in terms of new technology coming in? As you
Yeah.
said, the glass
We are very
buildings are
safe.
coming. Yeah.
We are very, very safe.
You don't feel like
No.
sooner or later the market might be squeezed
I think we're
into
very
a-
safe. I
We're
think-
in an AI world, no? So
Yeah.
don't you think it will go
No,
wrong?
I think AI will only enable things. We are pretty safe. In fact, hopefully, I'm not going to go into the copyright related matters and things like that, but hopefully we'll see better things with AI than what we see. But I think the human interface will always be there. Finally humans make cities and communities. AI can't make a community. And for our practice, I think the future is, India it's just growing now, right? At the amount of development which is happening in infrastructure and so much and so forth. I just want to, from our end, we just want to have nice cities, mindfully, thoughtfully done. Not cities which are using too much resources. Cities which are welcoming. They have softness in them. They have public spaces. People talk to each other because of public spaces, because you can sit and someone else is sitting and they're seeing the art. I think we need to like a slow city would also be slow areas in a city, because it's too much of
So it's
hustle
like
bustle.
smart city, slow city.
Yeah, but smart city, but also certain areas can be slow areas,
Yes.
right? Where you can really
where you
spend.
live, where you can
Yeah.
really breathe through and not run
Yeah.
with the
Or
speed.
it could be a public space where people are coming there and talking, seeing the art, seeing something happening, kids are
It
playing.
gives innovative idea, when
It
you
slows
create
you
this
down,
kind
it
of
makes you feel
district,
good.
you actually let people stop, pause, think, reflect,
Yeah.
and then contribute better. I think
Yeah.
you're not just actually creating Start India, you're making Startup India. You are the guys. We should.
you
But
so
you
much.
leave me with the answer, which is that wall you want. You
which is
just
that
started
wall?
your-
No wall,
India
no,
and globe both. Now
no
you
wall,
have both.
no wall is big enough right now to say, because if I say it, then I would be hitting myself and saying that it could have been. I don't know.
Come on, you've
Nahi pata
gone.
mujhe.
You're saying all the time scanning the walls in the country and abroad.
We would love to redo the Churchgate project.
Huh?
We did it a few years ago. So we would love to do the Churchgate project. We
And
did.
any cause that you think you would like to really depict out from, if ever given a chance by anyone?
I don't know right now. There's not,
Any storytelling in your head?
no, not as yet.
No. That means we still have something big coming. around.
We will.
Yeah. So, Arjun, it was a cruel thing. I really can't understand how you guys, even you told me everything, I cannot imagine someone doing this whole world of art, coming out, curating artists, bringing everything together and creating value for them and for the society. So you've already cracked it. It's just we had to look out for you.
Thank you so much for looking out for me. It's only because of the team which we have, our partners.
I was lucky.
Nothing
I
else.
think that day somebody must have been kind to me to search you guys out, because there's one more artist who बहुत famous. I don't know these name globally. जो सिर्फ अपना sign मार के चले आते. Some Benting something, no?
Banksy.
Yeah, something. So I used to never think of this, but this graffiti used to stick with me since I was in Delhi.
Yeah.
I said, किसने किया है? So I never actually opened my eyes to read your sign off there. but I'm very
It's
happy.
there. It's all there.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you so
should
much.
be there. But a call out to the camera also to watch on to Arjun and listen to the whole journey of Start India with you.
Thank you, Anku, and thank you so much for having me in your podcast. So, firstly, would like to thank Anku, and please listen to our sweet conversation on India podcast as and when it releases. And thank you.
What is the one thing you guys have a tagline? Start India.
Art for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like define something. Ki
Art for all. It's
That's
as
it.
simple as that.
keep it simple.
Yeah, it's simple, understandable.
I hope to see you across everywhere in India.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really looking forward that every city has some big area marked with Start India.
I'll send you a map already. By the way, we have certain areas.
You have, yeah, you
We
do
have
that.
7 art districts which we have across
When
the
you
country.
work, you go planning. Your planning team is like that.
No,
morning.
but we've made a map, a Google map, so you can see all the works which are across the country.
But your days are you get up in the morning doing all this? Or,
No, I wake up at 5 o'clock, do yoga, play badminton, and then I 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock I start working. Yeah, every day. Yeah, that's
so
my
it's like a normal entrepreneur life.
yeah, it's a normal.
And
life.
do you zone out to be like, because artists all zoned out, no?
I zone out while I travel, so I enjoy traveling.
I can quite get with the vibe. You've completely dismantled my belief of this artist world. So Punjabi, like, thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you.